I found the pros and cons list my BF made to break up with me after we made up. I snooped and found his pros and cons list a few hours after we made up. It broke my heart to find out that he thinks so little of me. The list. Pros. 1. Love her a lot. 2. Someone to spend time with. 3. Sex. 4. Someone to party with. Cons. 1. Childish. 2. No ambition. 3. Smokes. 4. Disregards my feelings. 5. Selfish. 6. Doesn't eat certain meats. 7. Full of shit. 8. Sex. 9. Takes my focus off from work. 10. Takes more than she gives. 11. Bipolar. 12. Don't see a future with her. 13. Don't have the same values. 14. Cannot be the mother of my children. 15. Eats like shit. 16. Doesn't exercise. 17. Sleeps all day. 18. Doesn't do anything. For some context, I am his first. He had planned to wait until he was married. However, after a few months he wanted to do it. I repeatedly asked him if he was sure, and he confirmed. He was also always the one to initiate. We are both university students. I used to smoke cigarettes but gradually stopped. His main issue is that I occasionally smoke weed, which he did not communicate during the fight that led to the breakup. He is extremely focused on his work since he is studying a very difficult degree. I was not aware that he felt this way about me. I thought he understood that I struggle to follow a sleep routine and that I hate getting up early. My classes allow me to sleep in, whereas he is up at 5 a.m. every day. Regardless of classes, I do not exercise. Yet he tells me how pretty I am and that I'm skinny and jokes that he needs to fatten me up. I am lucky to be thin without having to exercise, and I hate working out anyway. My horrible eating is skipping meals and eating McDonald's whenever I can. I have asked him in the past if there are any places where I can improve, and he said no. I even asked if he thought I was bipolar, and he said that I was just going through a hard time and having mood swings. He did not communicate any of these with me, except for the smoking, which felt irrelevant to me since I had basically stopped without even trying to. I did not know that he felt like I took more than I gave. I thought I was giving my all. In terms of physical things, I give less since I hardly have money to do groceries most months. However, emotionally I feel like I give more than enough. During the fight, he said that he felt guilty every time we had sex and that he threw all his values away, only to turn around and say that he is still in shock that it actually happened and not feeling guilty. We slept together the same night we made up, and I asked him multiple times if he was sure, because I obviously never want him to feel guilty or pressured. He has always been extremely supportive, so this took me by surprise. He has never said any of these things to me, and now I'm wondering why he even wanted to try again if he feels this way about me. Do you want to keep dating him knowing he feels this way? Pros: sex. Cons: sex. Sorry, but I laughed. Geez, that's way more cons than pros. If I saw that, I'd break it off because he's resentful towards you. You mention he is studying a difficult degree. Is it medicine? I ask because there's a trend for doctors having a med school girlfriend-wife who supports them during their studies. Then they break up to find their real doctor wife. His comments about you being there for partying but not someone he'd spend his life with really reminded me of that. Takes more than she gives. 12. Don't see a future with her. 13. Don't have the same values. 14. Cannot be the mother of my children. All of the above are really deal breakers. Everything else in the list can be worked on to better yourself and/or are your prerogative. You guys are better off away from each other. How is sex both pro and con? Lol. Sounds like you're a warm body to him that entertains him so he isn't bored and sleeps with him when he's horny. Not one thing on the pro side mentions your personality while the con list does. I don't believe he loves you a lot. Sorry to be harsh, but none of this speaks of love or affection. I believe he'd move on when he thinks he can do better. His whole list is so disrespectful and degrading. Being with a person so you're not bored is a terrible motivation. That cons list is cruel. I mean, I get making a pros and cons list, but damn. Full of shit. Eats like shit. Cannot be the mother of my children? I wouldn't stand in the same room as them. Much less actually be in a relationship. These things will eat at you, and you don't need that kind of crap from a person you're in a relationship with. All of his pros are just things that benefit him. All of his cons are direct criticisms of you. He wanted to try again because having you around benefits him, not because he genuinely cares about or even likes you. I hope you will decide to choose yourself and stop giving your time and energy to someone who clearly does not deserve you. I'm sorry, but it sounds like you two aren't really compatible. Honestly, you should leave. My husband has been pulling that shit for 10 years and it never gets better. I've never lived up to his expectations, which he also doesn't bother to communicate to me, regardless of how much I do for him or what I give up for him. Just save yourself years of pain and a sexless cage of contempt and resentment and leave. Stop worrying so much about how he feels and what he thinks. You know his true feelings about you. He made up with you because he is comfortable, and like other people said, it's a warm body. I could never get over this. This is some awful shit. I bet if you told him you found it, he would backtrack and say he was upset or angry, and that's it. He literally said you weren't good enough to be the mother of his kids. Stop letting him waste your time. Regardless of how serious this list is, you're both going to have a hard time looking past it now. Once you make the list, there's really no going back. Also, even though skipping meals and not exercising is a stupid thing to consider ending a relationship over, and maybe you can get away with it now you don't list your age, you're not taking good care of yourself and it will catch up with you. Maybe try to find some exercise you do like to do a few times a week, which might even help you sleep better. Don't do it for him, but do it for yourself. He's screwed up mentally. Don't date guys that have hang-ups about sex. There's way too many good men out there. It's weird he made the decision to have sex, but blames you for it. He literally writes, I don't see a future with her. Listen to him. There is no future in this relationship. Lots of guys get really full of themselves in college when they think they are going to make a lot of money. And then they graduate and realize an engineering degree makes about $80K. Which isn't as much as they thought. Find a better man. Sounds like you are good looking and easygoing and can do way better. Notice how every single item on his list of grievances is a way in which you can be of use to him. Even things that are seemingly about you are actually things that would make him look good for having a woman who checks those boxes. He doesn't seem to like you, but what you could do for him, if you can give him children, look good, etc. He doesn't accept you for what you are and your autonomy to make your choices. He wants a girl who fits in a box. I don't think you should be with someone like this. Doesn't eat certain meats. I mean, he's really digging for reasons to hate you, isn't he?